You know, I've had the pleasure of getting behind the wheel of just about everything with an engine. Fire-breathing, V12s, rumbling, American V8s, steam engines from a century ago, you name it. I've probably driven it, or at least tried to get it running in my garage. But every once in a while, a piece of technology comes along that really makes you stop and think. It's not always about the loudest exhaust or the fastest quarter-mile time. Sometimes it's about pure, unadulterated cleverness. And let me tell you, the modern hybrid car is one of the cleverest things on four wheels I've seen in a long, long time. They're the quiet geniuses of the automotive world, working smarter, not just harder. A lot of folks get the wrong idea about hybrids. They think it's some kind of compromise, like you're giving up all the fun of driving for a few extra miles per gallon. They see it as a stepping stone, something you buy while you wait for the real future of cars to show up. But that's where they're missing the point entirely. A good hybrid isn't a compromise, it's an optimization. The good old internal combustion engine, the silent instant power of electricity, and blends them together into something truly special. It's like having your cake and eating it too, except the cake also saves you a bunch of money at the pump. Think of it this way, a classic muscle car is all about brute force. It's fantastic, I love it, but it's like using a sledgehammer for every single job. A hybrid, on the other hand, is like a master craftsman's toolkit. It has a whole array of specialized tools, and it knows exactly which one to use at the perfect moment. Cruising on the highway? Let the gas engine do its thing efficiently. Stuck in stop-and-go traffic? Switch to the silent, efficient electric motor and save all that fuel you'd normally waste just sitting there. It's this intelligent dance between two power sources that makes these cars so fascinating and frankly so much smarter than people give them credit for. All right. Let's get down to brass tacks. What exactly is a hybrid car? The word itself just means a mix of two different things. In the automotive world, that's precisely what it is. A hybrid vehicle uses two distinct power sources to make the wheels turn. In almost every case you'll see on the road today, that means it has a traditional gasoline-powered internal combustion engine. It also has an electric motor. It's not one or the other, it's a team. They work together, passing the baton back and forth to make the car run efficiently. Imagine two runners. One is a marathoner, steady over long distances, slow off the line. That's your gasoline engine. The other is a sprinter, explosive from the start, tires quickly. That's your electric motor. A hybrid car is like a brilliant coach choosing who runs when. That strategic combo gives you the best of both worlds. The car's computer makes these decisions for you. No switches, no modes to pick. You just drive it like any other car. You press the gas pedal. The car's brain chooses the most efficient power mix. Sometimes it uses only the electric motor, especially at low speeds. Sometimes it uses only the gas engine, like on the freeway. And sometimes it uses both together for maximum performance. In short, a hybrid has a gas engine and an electric motor and switches or combines them to save fuel. It's not fully electric. You still fill it with gas and don't plug it in. Not plug-ins. Those are different. It recharges its battery as you drive. A bridge between past and future. Proven tech used in a smart new way. So, we're going to pop the hood on this technology, but don't you worry, we're not going to get bogged down in complicated engineering jargon. We're going to talk about it like we're standing right here in my garage. When you pop the hood of a hybrid, it might look a little intimidating at first. You'll see the familiar parts of a gasoline engine, but you'll also see a bunch of other components, and a whole lot of bright orange cables. Don't let those orange cables scare you. They're just the highway for the high voltage electricity, and they're heavily insulated for safety. The key is to understand that there are three main stars of the hybrid show, working alongside the trusty gas engine. These are the high voltage battery pack, the electric motor or generator, the power control unit. These three components are the heart, muscle, and brain of the electric side of the hybrid system. First up, you have the gasoline engine. This is pretty much the same kind of engine you'd find in a conventional car, though it's often a bit smaller and designed to be extra efficient. It's an Atkinson cycle engine in many hybrids, which is a fancy way of saying it's tuned for maximum fuel economy rather than maximum power. It doesn't need to be a powerhouse because it has a secret weapon, its electric partner. The engine's job is to provide power for long-distance cruising and to help charge the battery when needed. It's the reliable workhorse of the powertrain duo, handling the heavy lifting on the open road. Next, you have the electric motor. This is the silent powerhouse of the system. Unlike a gas engine that needs to rev up to make power, an electric motor delivers its full torque, that's twisting force, instantly. This is why hybrids feel so peppy and quick when you first press the accelerator from a stop. Let's talk about the battery, because it's really the core of the hybrid's electric side. When people hear battery, they often think of the little rectangular box under the hood of a regular car that starts the engine and powers the radio. The battery in a hybrid is a completely different beast. It's a large, high-voltage battery pack, typically made up of many individual cells bundled together. In older hybrids, they use nickel metal hydride, or NiMH. Newer models are increasingly using lithium-ion or Li-ion batteries, because they can store more energy in a smaller, lighter package. This battery pack is the car's energy reservoir. It's like a small fuel tank, but for electricity. Its job is to store the electrical power that will be used to drive the electric motor. When you're cruising along and the car decides to switch to electric-only mode, it's this battery pack that's supplying the juice. The size of the battery determines how long you can drive on electricity alone, though in a standard hybrid, it's usually just for short distances at a time. The real magic isn't how big the battery is, but how cleverly the car manages to keep it charged up without you ever having to plug it in. So, how does it stay charged? This is one of the smartest parts of the whole system. The hybrid has two main ways of recharging its own battery while you're driving. The first way is by using the gasoline engine. Sometimes, if the battery is running low and the driving conditions are right, the engine will be used to turn a generator, which then sends electricity back to the battery pack. It's like the car is topping off its own electric tank. This happens automatically in the background, so you never even notice it's happening. The car is always thinking ahead, making sure it has enough electric power on standby for when it needs it most. The second, and even more clever method of charging is called regenerative braking. In a normal car, when you hit the brakes, all that forward momentum is turned into wasted heat by the friction of the brake pads on the rotors. It's just lost energy. But in a hybrid, the resistance from this generator helps slow the car down, and at the same time, it captures that kinetic energy and uses it to recharge the battery. It's genius! Now let's get to the muscle of the electric system, the electric motor. This component is a true game changer in the driving experience. A gasoline engine has a lot of moving parts: pistons, crankshafts, valves. It needs to build up revolutions to make its peak power. An electric motor is beautifully simple in comparison. It's basically a set of magnets and copper windings. When electricity from the battery flows through it, it creates a magnetic field, and the motor's shaft spins with incredible force. And the best part? It delivers its maximum torque, pulling power, from the moment it starts spinning. This instant torque is what makes a hybrid feel so responsive from a dead stop. When the light turns green and you touch the accelerator, the electric motor gives you a smooth, silent, surprisingly quick push forward. There's no waiting for the engine to rev up, no hesitation. It's just instant go. This is a huge advantage in city driving where you're constantly starting and stopping. The electric motor handles all that low-speed work effortlessly and efficiently. It's what allows the car to creep along in traffic, glide through a parking garage in complete silence, using zero gasoline, producing zero emissions. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The electric motor in a hybrid is actually a motor generator. It's a two-in-one device. When it's taking electricity from the battery to turn the wheels, it's a motor. It can also run in reverse, regenerative braking. When you slow down, the momentum of the wheels spins the motor's shaft, and instead of consuming electricity, it generates it. If the battery is the heart and the motor is the muscle, then the power control unit is the brain of the hybrid system. This component is honestly a marvel of modern electronics, and it has one of the most important jobs in the whole car: managing every single watt of electricity. It's a sophisticated box of circuits, transistors, and processors that acts as the ultimate middleman. It sits between the high-voltage battery, the electric motor or generator, and the gasoline engine, directing the flow of energy with lightning-fast precision. Without this electronic brain, the hybrid would just be a car with a gas engine and a bunch of heavy electrical parts. One of its main tasks is to act as an inverter. The high-voltage battery stores energy as direct current, which is kind of like the electricity in a flashlight battery. However, the powerful electric motor that drives the car typically runs on alternating current, which is more like the electricity in your house. The power control unit contains an inverter that seamlessly converts the battery's direct current power into alternating current power to feed the motor. When the car is in regenerative braking mode, the process reverses. The motor or generator produces alternating current power, and the control unit converts it back into direct current power to recharge the battery. It's really a two-way street for electricity. Another critical job of the power control unit is to manage the voltage. The big hybrid battery pack operates at a very high voltage. We're talking hundreds of volts. But the rest of your car's accessories, like the headlights, the radio, and the power windows, all run on a standard 12-volt system, just like in a conventional car. So, the power control unit also contains a direct current to direct current converter. This steps down the high voltage from the main battery pack to a more manageable 12 volts to keep the smaller, traditional car battery charged and to power all your accessories. This is why a hybrid doesn't need an alternator driven by the engine like a regular car does. Ultimately, this unit is the master decision maker. So, we've looked at all the major parts. Now, let's put it all together and see what it's like to actually drive one of these things on a typical trip. Imagine you're starting your day. You get in your hybrid and press the power button. Instead of the roar of an engine, you get silence. A little ready light comes on in the dashboard and that's it. At startup and for low-speed driving, the car relies exclusively on the electric motor. Backing out of your driveway and cruising the residential street. No gasoline used. Gliding along silently, powered by the battery pack. Pulling onto a main road, you need to get up to speed. You press the accelerator more firmly. The car's brain makes a decision. It starts the gasoline engine almost imperceptibly. The engine and the electric motor work together briefly for strong, smooth acceleration. At cruising speed, say 45 miles per hour, the gasoline engine will likely take over the primary job of keeping the car moving, as that's where it operates most efficiently. The electric motor goes into standby, ready to assist for a quick burst. Traffic ahead, cars slow to a red light. You lift off the accelerator, regenerative braking engages. The gasoline engine shuts off completely. The electric motor switches to generator mode. The car's momentum is used to create electricity. That electricity is sent back to the battery. Applying the brakes increases the regenerative effect, slowing you while capturing energy. Sitting at the red light, everything is silent. The engine is off. You're not burning fuel. You're not creating emissions. Hybrids have a massive advantage here. Light turns green. The cycle restarts. The electric motor gives an instant, silent push. The gas engine kicks in as needed. Continuous, intelligent switching between power sources. So when you put it all together, you start to see why I'm such a fan of these clever machines. Hybrid cars aren't just a quirky alternative. They are a brilliant and practical solution to many of the challenges of modern driving. They tackle the problem of fuel waste head-on, using a smart combination of existing, reliable technology and forward-thinking electric power. They don't ask you to change your habits. You still fill them up at a regular gas station. You drive them just like any other car. But they deliver a vastly more efficient and refined experience. They are the perfect bridge between the automotive world we know and the electric future that is on the horizon. The beauty of the hybrid is its pragmatism. While a fully electric car is a fantastic goal, there are still real-world challenges with charging infrastructure and range anxiety for many people. A hybrid eliminates those concerns entirely. Take one on a cross-country road trip without ever worrying about finding a charging station. You have the freedom and the flexibility of a gasoline car, with a significant portion of the efficiency benefits of an electric vehicle. They are the right technology for right now for the vast majority of drivers. They make an immediate and tangible impact on your fuel budget and the environment. These cars have proven to be incredibly reliable too. Early on, people worried about battery longevity, but manufacturers have shown these components can last hundreds of thousands of miles. The systems are designed to be durable. They're not just smart in how they use energy, they're smartly engineered for the long haul. In the end, hybrid cars are the unsung heroes of the automotive world. They may not have the roar of a supercar or the revolutionary image of a pure electric vehicle, but they quietly and competently make personal transportation more sustainable.